A former British TV star whose career once put him in front of millions has died in prison only weeks after being jailed for serious sexual offences involving 2 teenage girls. John Alford, who was also known by his real name, John Shannon, was discovered unresponsive in his prison cell on Friday, according to reports. Prison staff found the 54-year-old lying on his bed after opening his cell door. A spokesperson for the prison service confirmed the death, saying, "John Shannon died in prison on March 13, 2026. As with all deaths in custody, the Prisons and Probation Ombudsman will investigate." Alford had been serving an 8.5-year sentence after being convicted earlier this year of sexually abusing 2 underage girls at a house party in Hertfordshire. The former actor, best known to British audiences from the BBC dramas Grange Hill and London's Burning, was found guilty of 6 offences following a trial. Prosecutors said the crimes happened during the early hours of April 8, 2022 after a gathering where several teenagers had been drinking. According to evidence heard in court, Alford had spent the evening at a pub before going to the house with a friend. As the night went on and other people went to bed, he was left alone with 2 girls aged 14 and 15. Prosecutors said he later bought a bottle of vodka from a nearby petrol station before returning to the house. In the garden, he asked the younger girl to sit on his lap while he smoked a cigarette. The court heard he then kissed her and had sex with her. Later that night, he again had sex with the same girl in a downstairs bathroom. During the same period, he sexually assaulted the 15-year-old while the teenagers were becoming drowsy. Both girls later described the impact of the night in emotional statements during the trial. The younger victim said the experience had deeply affected her and her family. She told the court that even being hugged by her own father no longer felt comfortable because he was a man. The older girl said the assault made her feel absolutely sick, and revealed she later attempted to take her own life. She told jurors that the incident destroyed her mental well-being. The abuse only came to light several days later when the 15-year-old broke down while visiting a friend and told the friend's mother what had happened. Police were then alerted, and Alford was arrested the following day. Throughout the investigation and the trial, Alford denied all allegations. During police interviews he insisted the claims were a setup, and said he believed someone was trying to blackmail him. He told officers he had received a phone call from a man demanding money and asking him to meet in a car park. However, investigators said no evidence supporting the claim was found on his phone or on the devices of the victims. Prosecutors also pointed out that the teenagers were born long after Alford's television fame and had no idea who he was, weakening the suggestion they targeted him for money. In January, a jury convicted him by a majority verdict at St. Albans Crown Court. When handing down the sentence, the judge told Alford he had abused a position of trust. She said he had been the only adult still awake at the party and knew the girls were just 14 and 15 years old. The judge also noted that during the trial his focus appeared to be on the impact the case had on himself and his family rather than the harm caused to the victims. Before the convictions, Alford's life had already been marked by controversy. In the 1990s he was one of the most recognizable faces on British television, appearing in the long-running firefighter drama London's Burning, which attracted audiences of up to 18 million viewers a week. But his acting career collapsed after a high-profile undercover newspaper sting in 1997. He was later convicted of supplying cocaine and cannabis to an undercover reporter posing as a wealthy businessman. After that scandal, work in television dried up and Alford reportedly turned to other jobs, including taxi driving and scaffolding. He also had further brushes with the law over the years, including a drink-driving conviction and an incident in 2018 when he was arrested after getting behind the wheel of a bin lorry and clashing with police in North London. Now, his story has ended inside a prison cell. Authorities say a formal investigation will determine the circumstances surrounding his death, but for many, the case remains a disturbing reminder of how a once celebrated public figure's life spiraled into scandal, crime, and ultimately tragedy.